What's going on, guys? It's Josnator the Gamer. This is going to be a different video today because we are not going to be playing Fortnite. Rather, we're going to be talking about the tragic fall of Fortnite regarding its decisions, gameplay, and charm, as they were unfortunately taken away from the people who actually enjoyed the game. Now, without further ado, let's get into the meat of the problem. Number 1. Gameplay. The reason that we liked the game in the first place was because it was a step beyond PUBG, especially when it came to pricing because we didn't have to pay for it whatsoever. Plus, it was a shorter paced game than PUBG could ever hope to be. This gave Epic Games an incentive to make the guns more accurate. That wasn't the only reason the guns were the way they were. It was also because it was more cartoony, which gave less the reason to include real physics to the gunplay. This made the game special to the eyes of fans at the time, including myself. The guns were also properly balanced, and no one complained at the time, except for a few about the double pump exploit. So, what do you think Epic did to enhance that experience over the years? Anything good? No, absolutely not. I am flabbergasted by the number of things that the company did wrong to what was a joyful experience. First off, we had the issue of bloom. For some reason, this was a very underrated topic when disclosing the problems of the game. I'm pretty sure that all of us had this problem at one point. What's that? You never came across this problem? This is probably either because you're really good at figuring out an exploit, which by the way, I hate that the game forces us to exploit sometimes, or the very worst outcome, you were just lucky. Yes, I know I shouldn't outright say that RNG is the main issue considering that it's a battle royale. However, it is jarring that luck is the biggest set piece to any fight whatsoever. It's bad enough that the AR is not practical at times because 80% of the people who play the game knows how to build like Myth in its golden days, which gives less an incentive to use the gun. But when I get a chance to use it, it's borderline useless, which gives birth to the spray and pray meta and leads players to believe that a little to none skillful gun is okay to use. These are the people that I would like to call Boruto, which has no resolve as a good player and gets away with it by using things that are not as skillful just because it's cool. Many of you that watches Boruto will know what I'm talking about. So this game just deviates from the competitive play and treats the casuals with respect, instead of the people who made your game possible in the first place. Lastly, fix your shotguns, need I say more? Number 2. Decisions and changes. Everyone that plays Fortnite will realize that it changes every chance it gets. I mean, if you take a week off, then it will feel like a completely different game. This could be a good or bad thing, depending on how you handle it. I mean, look at how many games do this nowadays. I'm looking at you, GTA. You could have spent time making GTA 6 instead of spending time on this extra crap that we don't want. Back to Fortnite, and my god, these changes happen way too frequently. I guess it was cool to see the dynamic changes that were added to the map on January 18th, 2018 on Season 2, and the dynamic gameplay that could happen there. Rest in peace, Tilted. And of course, in Season 5 in July 12th, Paradise Palm was added and we kinda thought it was a nice change of scenery. And then the snow area was added in December. I wasn't really excited for that, but I thought in my head, hey, this is a holiday update, so they take it off eventually. Little did I know how wrong I was. This was cool to see during December, but it was so redundant as they kept it. As the time went on, and to this day we still have the snow area. Just freaking melt the thing. And we're not even started on the gameplay affected changes, and these are just the worst of the bunch. Some of the weapons that are added nowadays are either garbage or broken. There is no in between. And most of these guns are used to fill the void of the aforementioned balanced guns that we had before, because they vaulted them. For example, who in God's name wanted the pump gun? None of the fans asked for this, and this change was made before an esports event. What the hell? These new weapons that we would get shafted in a couple of weeks, and then we would get worse stuff. Rinse and repeat, and there is Fortnite in a nutshell. One of the most annoying problems I run into is that I hate the many incentives that Epic loves to give, which is the option to run away. Sure, the launchpad and bouncers were fine at the time because it was under the same boat with RNG. You were not guaranteed to find them. Minus the bouncers, the stuff that we got were the launchpads, the hoverboards, ballers which are so annoying, vents, geysers, redeploys, quad crashers, sky platforms, shockwave grenades that were for some reason replacing the impulses that were more skillful to use, shadow bombs, Now do you see where I mean? Do you see the problem that I have? This game gives people the incentive to cower out and spray and pray and run away, which deviates from the dichotomy that was from Season 1 to 3, where you had to fight and not be a coward. Number 3. Taking ideas. It was bad enough that the game was under some hot water because of quote-unquote copying PUBG, but they went as far as to copy Apex by adding the reboot buses and adding the pinging system after the fact that Apex was popular. To be fair, all Battle Royale systems should have a pinging system. The reboot bus was a complete and utter joke as well. This game, as I mentioned before, was a very fast-paced game, and if you add a function to add back as many players as you want, then the game is longer paced. If I wanted that pacing, I would have played PUBG. The bus is at every named location, which is absurd, and you couldn't build there whatsoever. Here's what would have been a less crappy idea. Why not have a reboot bus at one location, and changes locations each time the circle progresses, using your BS RNG mechanic? It would have raised some tension that if you wanted to revive, then you'll have to get through other players first. That would be so much more fun and interesting of a concept, but of course they are everywhere, and you have more players to lengthen the short pace. It would be so much different than the reboot system that we have in Apex. I wouldn't be surprised if they went back to their roots because the new Modern Warfare is going to. Number 4. The only thing that Epic does with justice. Out of everything that Epic can do with flying colors is unfortunately its cosmetics. And this is a problem. Cosmetics are there to make me look cool and stand out as I'm kicking butts and taking names. It adds nothing to gameplay, and it bothers me that Epic spends so much time on something that isn't a factor to dynamic gameplay. But other than that, the game is also free, so we spend a lot of time playing a good game that is the most popular game out there for free. At least that's how I felt back in Season 1 to 3. I can't look at this game the same again. With the saturated problems that's been going on for a long time, I can't wait for Modern Warfare to come out so I can leave this game in the dust. Unless it fixes these problems, this game is going to fall. I hope you watch this video and go in the comment section with a mature mindset. Because it's okay to have your own opinion. Just know that I don't like the game, and it's okay for you to like the game, because it's genuinely a good game. But at the end of the day, me not liking the game is not going to make you like the game any less, and this should be left at that. But on top of that, thank you guys for watching. My Twitch will be in the description below, and I do upload content on my YouTube that I want you guys to watch. It's really good content. But on top of that, it's been Josh the Gamer. Come back for another dose. Take care.